everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy, and on this channel we do DIYs with signs, we do thrifting, we do crime and crafting. I got a little bit of everything for everyone. So if you're into that, then make sure to stick around, like, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, you guys, so for this one I have some old fencing that came from a barn, and I cut it down to whatever sizes I wanted my churches to be. So it's going to be all preference. If you guys do want my sizes, I can list them down in the description box for you. But what we're going to do is for these, I'm going to get the two smallest ones. This is going to be the front doors of our church. I'm going to use wood glue. This is just the wood glue from Dollar Tree, and it works just as well, but it doesn't dry clear. So I will tell you that. Then I'm going to clamp them together. I'm going to do the same thing for my second church, except this time the shorter pieces are going to go behind. So I'm going to take our wood glue again, put it in the middle. I'm going to clamp these together and let them go ahead and dry, which wood glue usually dries pretty quickly. So you don't have to wait too long. This can definitely, you could finish all of these in a day for sure. All right, so after we let those set up, then I'm going to take them off. And I'm going to position this one. So again, the shorter ones are going to go in the front of this church. Put some more wood glue. I'm going to clamp those together. Now, I raise them up so that I make sure that they're sitting flush with the ground so we don't have a crooked church. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Now, oh, sorry, somebody's at my front door. So for this one, again, the shorter pieces are going to go behind. And then we're going to put a pretty healthy coat of the wood glue on, stick that on top, and then this is where I was like, oh no, that didn't dry all the way. So we're gonna clamp these together. Again, you're gonna just wait till they dry. If you guys do like vendor shows and stuff like this, these are amazing to knock out. All right, so you guys, always measure your nails. If you have a nail gun, because obviously the ones that were in here were far too long for what I needed. So I did need to change them out for a shorter nail. If I would have left these in, it would have gone through my church into my table, and we don't want that. So make sure to measure out how thick your wood is and what length of nails you need. You could also use old-fashioned nails and a hammer as well. If this is just for you, wood glue would do. All right, so now that these are dry, we are going to now take our nail gun, and sorry, I do position this weird in a minute, but I'm just gonna nail this, nail. You're like, please be quiet. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing for the taller one as well. After we're done with that, I'm attaching my church to a base. And again, I just cut these down to random sizes. Whatever I thought looked good, that's what size I went with. So as you can see right there, the wood glue doesn't dry clear at all. So be careful if you do have Dollar Tree wood glue. Nailing this together, and then I will again put it on a base. Now after the base is dry, or sorry, I'm going to show you this one too. See how nice and even, it's not crooked, it's not wobbling, nothing. All right, now, sorry, this is where you're not gonna see. What I'm doing is just nailing the base to the actual church. Now I'm just taking a chippy brush, some white paint, and I am just doing some faux snow for a winter church. And you guys, there are so many other options. You could use like caulking for this. There's fake snow. So just use your imagination. You don't even have to do them for winter if you don't want. You could use different colors. So it's just really up to you and your imagination as to how you want to decorate your churches. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and paint some doors. I'm going to paint a window on. This could be square. You don't even have to paint it. You could just leave it as is. You could even get another piece of wood and use that as a door. So there's a lot of possibilities for creativity with these depending on your style and your home decor. But I really like the simplicity with the barnwood of just the white. So yeah, I didn't like that. Okay, so for this one, we got to go a little further up with our door. I liked it.
I liked the like rounded doors. That was just my preference here. But I go up with this one, and then I do end up making just like a little wreath for it and put a nail up top just to add a little something extra to this church. And this is how it turns out, you guys. Look at how beautiful these are. These were inspired by somebody on Pinterest, and I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of us get it from. So I'm going to attach her, I think it's a blog, down in the description box for you. But I really love how easy these are to make and how beautiful they come out to be.
All right, you guys, I hope you enjoy that first upcycle DIY. I have a bunch of scrap wood, barn wood, and stuff that I've collected for free off of Facebook. So I definitely wanted to put them to use in this video. So I hope that this inspires you to either dig around in your garage or go on Facebook Marketplace. There are so many places that you can find free wood, especially free fencing. So make sure to keep an eye out. And you guys, I just wanted to say thank you so very much, because as I'm recording this today, I am 149 subscribers away from 70,000. I would have never thought a year and a half ago that I would be, that looks weird, here right now with this amazing of a community that we have established here on Unicorn Dust Designs. And I truly would not be here without you all supporting me and watching my content and liking my videos and sharing and all of that good stuff. So I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you so very much for being here and for getting me to where I am today. So thank you very much. And you guys know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging the DIYs, if you are digging this channel, then make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget, I have an Instagram, we have a Facebook page, I'm on TikTok, and I also have a website where I post all my new thrifting finds, which has just been restocked. So go check that out. And with that said, you guys, let's get into the last two DIYs.
Okay, this one might be my favorite. So I am taking 4x7 pieces, and I am using my antique wax and water mixture. This is a nice way of getting a stain color. It dries super fast. You can darken it up by putting more antique wax in with your water. And I just leave it in a mason jar, shake it up when I'm ready to use it. And then I am just going to apply it with a chip brush. I do end up taking a paper towel and wiping the excess off. Now remember, you guys, you can go to Home Depot if you don't have like a miter saw or a table saw and get these cut for you. You can also, use your imagination. There's so many other things you can use in place of wood as well. So I'm going to finish up staining these 7 pieces and letting them dry. Then I'm going to take my little apple barrel chip brush. You could also just use a chip brush. And I'm going to distress these with white. I knew that the spindle I was going to be using, I was going to paint white, so I wanted to pull that white in so it all kind of flowed. So I am making sure to get the tops, the bottoms, and the sides of these, because I don't know why. Well, you'll see the tops and the sides. That's why. You guys know I'm a hot mess. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I thought you would want a close-up, just in case you didn't know how to paint or anything. I mean, maybe. All right, so after that, I get some stencils from my Cricut. You can also just use letter stencils from any craft store ever in the world. And I am using my, which one is this? Oracle 651. So this is permanent vinyl. I like permanent vinyl when stenciling because it has a stronger adhesive, which to me leads to less bleeds. So I am taking Rich Black by Folk Art, my stencil brush from Dollar Tree, and I am just going to fill this in. I'm going to do the same thing for all 7 letters here. Allow the black paint to dry, and then we are going to go ahead and weed those. And you guys know I show you the weeding process. That's everybody's like favorite, right? So here we go. We got nice crisp lines, and you know what, I don't think I show it, but I do end up taking a rough sanding block from Dollar Tree, and go over them to kind of just lighten up the black so it's not so stark, and make it look a little bit more distressed so it just goes with the entire vibe here. So after we're done with that, I do take them outside and clear them with Rust-Oleum matte clear spray paints. Now I'm going to take the ends, the B and the E. I'm going to drill a hole in the middle, and then I'm going to put some eye hooks in here. So they screw in. You could see them over there on the left. You see them on the left on the measuring mat? That's what they look like. So you don't even need a drill. The drill just helps kind of start the process for you. Now I'm going to take my wood glue, and you could see I'm using my measuring mat to keep my lines nice and straight so that they're not all going all different ways. Now that I'm done with that, I'm taking my spindle. Y'all, Facebook Marketplace is where it's at. I got a whole basically like stair railing, whatever you want to call it, for 25 bucks. I got all of these spindles, and I even got the big posts that I'm going to make wreath hangers with. And you guys, don't skip out. Stock your Facebook Marketplace, because let me tell you, 25 bucks for all of this. So I'm just going to paint it with white chalk paint, distress it with my sanding block. I only did one coat. After this, I did spray it with clear matte spray paint. I can't. All right. So after we are done distressing, I guess I wanted to show you the whole distressing experience here, because that's what I do. Because I'm a master at editing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now I'm taking a long paint stir stick. I'm nailing that to the back. And this is where I say, you guys, measure your nails, because look what happened. Yeah, they were too long, and I nailed it to my table. So what not to do, right? I got to show you all the boo-boos. And then my camera falls on me. Y'all, it's a mess. So what I did was I took my wire clippers. I cut what I could off of the nail, and then I just hammered whatever little like pointy part was sticking up. I nailed that down so somebody wouldn't, scratch themselves on it. And then if you could still kind of see the shiny silver, I went over it with a little bit of chalk paint. Woo! It was a mess, you guys. Okay, so now I'm taking my sawtooth hangers, and what I'm doing right there is I'm just flattening the sawtooth hanger out. These were sticking up super far, and I was like, you know what? If I hang this on the wall, I wasn't digging it. So I just hammered them down so that they would be a little bit more flush with my spindle. And then I'm using my pliers to help get those little baby nails in. So you can see I'm just hammering the sides so it's not sticking up as much, finding the middle of my spindle. And then I'm going to take my pliers to hold that little nail and then hammer it on in. All right, so now we have our Dollar Tree chain. This comes from the wire basket from Dollar Tree. You could also get chains and stuff at a hardware store. And I am going to hook it up to the believe sign. So remember, we already put those eye hooks in the B and the E. So I'm going to open those up just a bit, stick our chain in there, or at least attempt to here. And then I will close it back up. And we'll do the same thing for the opposite side. So this project, I promise, it probably looks harder than it is, but it really wasn't. The hardest part was probably this. And it wasn't even that hard, I promise. Okay, so now I'm going to line it up. Like I've said before, you guys, I can't live without my measuring mat. I use it for so much. All right, now we're going to see how long we want our hooks, and I believe I settled on 12 or something notches. I'm going to cut the excess off here, and I'm going to do the same thing for both sides. Then I'm going to use my ruler because I'm crazy like that and I want everything straight. And I measure where my eye hook is on the bottom, and then that's where I mark on the spindle. That way I get it in the right spot. Then I'll take my ruler, I stand it up, and I measure 1/2 inch up on my spindle. That way I hit the same spot on each side. You know what I'm saying? So when I use my drill gun, I'm not like drilling one up on the right and one up on the left, and then the believe's gonna be all wonky. Then I screw in those eye hooks, I hang it, and you guys, I'm so sorry, but my phone ran out of storage. I couldn't record the greenery part.
Hey, you guys. So this, yeah, don't mind my workout pants and fancy top for this, but this is hard to like hang up without putting nails in my wall. So I figured this is how I would do the rebuild. So here is how it turned out. Look at that beautiful distressing. And then, sorry I didn't film this, y'all. My camera ran out of storage, of course, my phone, I mean. So all I did was hot glue 2 picks on, and then I put some extra little doodads in the middle from some Dollar Tree bags. And then we got the black chain and our distressed believe. And I think it turned out so cute. I'm gonna put this in my booth and I'm sure it's going to sell very quickly. So sorry about this reveal, but I had to show you guys the full amazingness of this. Okay, you guys, thanks. Let's get on to the last one.
Okay, this is our last one, you guys. Okay, do you see that? It's antique green. I think I was telling you guys the wrong color this entire time, but this project is so easy peasy. This is an old piece of barnwood. Again, got it absolutely free off Facebook Marketplace. And I'm going to take this folk art antique green with a chip brush and I'm going to lay it over here. Now this piece of wood was so rough that the paint came out beautifully on top of it. Like I didn't have to do any distressing. I just had to put that paintbrush over there and the piece of wood did the work for me here. So I do end up putting a little bit more right in the middle where it's a little lighter. Kind of looked like a hole to me. So I do the sides and stuff. I don't paint the back though because that won't be showing. Then I take my twine. At first I started with hot glue and then I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to be selling this either in my booth or my website. So I do end up using my staple gun and you'll see that right here. I'm like, no. So I cut it, I tie a double knot in there, then I'll get my staple gun and pull tightly on that and staple that down. Do the same thing on the opposite side, and then I'll just repeat this same process on the left side as well, making sure you start with a double knot. After we're done with this, I'm gonna make a hanger. So again, just taking that twine, double knotting it, and then using our staple gun. I prefer the hanger versus a sawtooth because I just feel like you have more ways of hanging it and more places without having to stick a nail in your wall. So after this, I get one of my decals. This is from the Cricut Design Access Studio, and I am using, again, the 651 permanent vinyl as my stencil because like I said previously, it is it's more adhesive and that's what I want, especially for this rough barnwood. I need it to stick. So that's why I'm using permanent vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off and then I'm going to get my stencil brush again from Dollar Tree, some white chalk paint, and I'm going to stencil that on. Now I wanted this to be rustic, so I didn't go in for a second coat. I just did a very light wash of this white chalk paint. It was fine with me if I missed some spaces. That is what it's all about. And I probably should have cleared, like did the painting, cleared it, and then applied the twine. I probably still could. The twine will just harden. That's fine. Sometimes I don't think as I'm doing DIYs, I just go with the flow, but yeah, I definitely need to clear this. So we'll go ahead and remove, and look at, even with as rough as this piece of wood was, to hardly get any bleeds is amazing. And that's why I use the permanent vinyl. So you guys, that is it. I love the way this came out. This green is definitely one of my favorites for Christmas. So again, antique green. I will try looking for it on the Plaid website and link it down for you guys in the description box. I hope you guys have a good week. Bye.
No. What do you want? me one. Jingle bell, booty smell, ramen-a-ding. How little you are. Say hi. Okay. Always the fly. And I'm already hot. My pits are already sweating.